Hi, welcome. Could you please state your name and profession?
Good afternoon. I'm Filip Tuytschaever. I am a competition law partner at the Brussels-based law firm of Contrast, and I am also a professor of competition law at the University of Brussels.
And why did you specialize in competition law?
Good question. I actually came into contact with competition law first when I was doing a PhD on EU constitutional law. And I had a chance to do an internship at the Legal Service of the European Commission. And at the Legal Service of the European Commission, I got to see that competition law is a very interesting field of law, not just procedurally speaking, but also from a substantive perspective. And then later, when I went into private practice, there's not that much private practice on EU constitutional law. So I naturally came back to competition law, and that is now more than 25 years ago, and I haven't regretted it for a single day.
Great. And what is the one change in the new vertical agreement block exemption regulation that you think might have the biggest impact in practice?
I mean, that really is a question to kill your darlings. But if I have to pick one, at least what we see in practice, and it may be a detail, but I think it's an important one, that is the fact that dual pricing is now allowed. In other words, that suppliers may charge a different price to their buyers for the products that they sell, either online or offline. Get a lot of questions on this. It used to be a hardcore restriction. It's no longer a hardcore restriction. So I think that's a major change.
Thank you. And please provide a one-word answer only. Digital markets, more enforcement or less enforcement?
More enforcement. More enforcement. If I may add something, it's almost an inevitability. If you have more activity in an economic sector, you will have more regulation.
And what currently is your favorite case in competition law and why?
Currently, my favorite case is a case where I have a chance to act for the Belgian Competition Authority. Earlier this year, the Belgian Competition Authority imposed heavy fines on a number of tobacco manufacturers in a case where it's a case that is on the borderline between the vertical and the horizontal world. Tobacco manufacturers provide future prices to their wholesalers, which they have to do in the context of their vertical supplier-customer relation. But then the wholesalers, really without the consent of the tobacco manufacturers, forwarded these price lists to one or several competitors. And this allowed, according to the authority, a concerted practice to come into being. So it's a very interesting case on the scope of a concerted practice. Can you have a concerted practice if, in the context of commercial relations, your wholesalers, without your consent, forward your price lists, future price lists to your competitors? The authority says they should have known because they received price lists themselves. And it's also obviously an interesting case, very interesting case on indirect information exchange. So we've been pleading for the last 2 weeks. Pleadings are over. We'll have the judgment in January. Very much looking forward to that.
Great. Thanks so much. And I look forward to our discussion later today. Thank you.
Me too. Thank you very much.